Welcome to Luxembourg. I thought we'd do this one from the stadium, mainly because this could be the last time you see this stadium behind me. We will do the same two games that I said we would do, but there's every chance that the very next day might well be off to pastures new. I'll explain more after the titles. Okay then, it's the cup game that we promised. A quick peek at how things have been going. Where were we? You saw us lose to Maribor, and I think it was Dudelange we squeaked past, wasn't it? Very disappointing draw with Una Strassen, which we nearly lost. They scored in the 92nd minute. We equalised with a 94th minute penalty. Should have scored several, didn't. Got beaten 2-0 by Leicester, Harvey Barnes getting both. But we fought hard, we fought well, and whilst we couldn't justify anything out of it, it was not a bad performance. Then a couple of wins in the league, Rodange and Yellow Boys were seen off. Dynamo Kiev, this was not a good performance, although I did sort of hit on how we should have been playing these games about 20 minutes from the end. And we really did sort of like do low block, but you can see from these performances. I mean, yeah, they were always going to outplay us. They were always going to win, almost certainly. But it didn't help that we played quite so badly. When you see against Leicester, wasn't anywhere near so bad. Timo Ehring was bad, but he got no service. So what was he supposed to do? This was just all round terrible. But the last 20 minutes we defended well, and it was the plan going forward. Then a 1-1 draw away to league leaders at the time, Jeunesse Canache. They took the lead. We equalised in injury time in the first half, and it was a fairly even. We didn't really do enough to justify winning it. Titus Petange, we dominated completely and utterly. Probably should have scored more than two, and that was their only shot of the game. Now this was heartbreaking because we adopted the system that we switched to in the last 20 minutes against Dynamo Kiev away to Trabzonspor, and we even created chances. We had a slightly higher XG than them, not very high at all, neither side was attacking much, but we were almost being able to justify being slightly the better side for quite a while. And then 2 minutes into injury time they scored the only goal to deny us a point and all that lovely cash that would have come with it. And honestly, I think we can honestly say we were basically robbed there. They had not done enough to justify winning that game. But then we didn't do enough to justify winning this one either. You can see both goals were in the same minute. They actually took the lead. We then went from the kick-off and equalised. But again, such a mediocre performance. These boys came on and were the best performing players on the pitch, and no one else did anything at all useful. All of which has left us 7th in the league, still in touching distance of the European places, and indeed still unbeaten since those opening 3 games of the season. But it's about the cup today and lower division opposition. I've kind of, alright then, go very attacking if you want to. I'm not going to do the rest of it. I have kind of let the assistant pick this side because I couldn't be bothered to put the thought into it, to be perfectly honest. And yeah, he has picked a side with Bongiovanni, who's complaining about not playing, starting up front, apparently. And we have a couple of injuries. Berberi is out for a month. Sorrow is out for 2 months at least. So 2 of our best players have been sidelined. And whilst we're doing this, and this should be, I'm going to point the finger. No excuses. Alright, okay, fine. I trust you then. I don't trust you. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to lie to you, Adrian. I haven't even responded to your complaints about playing time, have I? But anyway, yes. So the reason that this could be, well, probably will be the last episode from Luxembourg is because a few weeks ago I thought I'll just have a look, see what jobs might be available. And there were some very interesting jobs available. And the one that piqued my interest first was Olimpia Ljubljana, who were 9th out of 10 teams in Slovenia. And I know they're a big side in Slovenia. So that was one of those ones that was like, oh, there he's offside. They definitely shouldn't be struggling like that, and they should be easy to rescue, and then you can build from there. So I went for that one, and there was a job in Norway available with a side that again had a very disappointing season, so clearly should have been better than they were. Close season by that point in Norway as well, so I would have had the off season to build and get my squad ready. Referee, that was a magnificent tackle if you timed that right. And that was Brina or however you say it, I don't know. That would have been a big problem, not being able to pronounce the name of the team I was managing. And then there was a Romanian one called Botoșani. And I applied for all three of those. And it was like a flick to magic switch. Because once I'd applied for these jobs, all of a sudden, other people that I hadn't even looked at and I didn't even know had jobs available came knocking on my door and was like, oh, would you like an interview? So there was a couple of teams in Belgium, La Louvière and Sint-Truiden, and there was Baník Ostrava in the Czech Republic. And the Baník Ostrava job I was very, very interested in. Oh, cheeky little header. He never meant. What did you think he was trying to do if he didn't mean that? I mean, let's just see. What are the options that he could have been trying to do? I mean, he's clearly trying to nod that towards goal. Don't. Just don't. Yeah, all right. We know it was a tight offside. It's been given. Shut up. Yeah, I mean, Baník Ostrava had shed loads of money, wages to, sort of spend, and that would have been fantastic. But they didn't even give me an interview, sadly. They realised, they said I would have been, they would have been fine to give me one, but they had a strong field and I didn't match up anyway. So we missed out on that. And I got the message from Sint-Truiden about because I'd said I'd wanted a budget for sorting out the backroom staff, which it turns out the budget they gave me was nothing, so I couldn't actually do anything on that anyway. But normally, if you get that, that is basically okay. We're going to give you the job because otherwise, why are we asking you to waste your time doing this? But for the first time ever, I then get a message from them afterwards saying we've gone another way. So that was surprising and a little bit sad to know that isn't a tell that you have definitely got a job. But we also got that message from someone else, and that someone else was Botoșani, and they have offered me the job. It is a significant cut in wages, and of course it is a much cheaper country to live in, as I know full well, having been there 3 weeks ago. And I have been putting them off for a couple of weeks to see if anyone else that I was interested in came back, which, as we know now, they haven't. So we've got this game today, which is midweek, and Bon Giovanni scored again. We've got the derby game with Differdange on the Saturday, and I'm expecting Botoșani to come back on the Sunday with what will be their final offer. They're not going to accept any more delays. And at that point, I will be accepting that job. They're in the second division in Romania. They're not well off financially, but I mean, we are you know, we're not going anywhere in Europe. We've got 2 games left that, frankly, I mean, it's already told me we're out. Mathematically, I don't quite see it, but maybe we are. And yeah, whatever. On your crack, lads. And yeah, this season's. We might, after we're out of Europe, be able to push towards the title again, and certainly we should be able to challenge to try and get into Europe again. But I think that the time has come now for a new challenge. It's supposed to be a journeyman. I've been here for like 3 years now, and yeah, it would be good to move on, see what we can do elsewhere. And of course, this is Blaze going home. So I mean, it's not home because Botoșani is in the northeast of Romania, and Sinaia is not very close to it at all, which is where he's from in this universe. But yeah, I mean, it is the nation of his birth, and I have managed in Romania on FM before, not on video. I think it was FM 19 or 20 maybe. And I took a side that's no longer in existence, actually. Whose name I can't remember. Was it? I can't quite remember what they were called now. I think their name translated as the old lady or something like that. So I think they might have had like Juventus links, but I mean, nothing that ever benefited us. But I got them into the top flight, or whoever they were, and having got them relegated in my first season, actually. But yes, so we will do these games, and then we will pack our bags and head for the old country. Meanwhile, what's been happening here? Anything even remotely interesting? Probably not. I know Bon Giovanni's scored a couple of goals. A last little spit in my eye for, well, you should have been playing me after all then, shouldn't you? Although, lower league opposition, so... And, as we know, in 4 days' time, but not as the players know, I'm off anyway. Which is basically why I haven't spoken to him, or there's another one. One of the midfielders, I think, might even be Semedo or someone, about their concerns about lack of playing time, because it's like, well, in less than a week it's not my problem. So you can complain to the new manager then. All this, by the way, has earned us a home draw with Swift Esperance, or has earned the club a home draw with Swift Esperance. Of course, I won't be around to play that game, but at least we've got them through to it, and I think that's going to be, is that last, I think that's quarterfinals or something, possibly, or last 16. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, no, I think it might be last 16. I seem to remember there being too many games. Yes, yeah, there were too many games in the draw for it to be like quarterfinals. So yes, it's the last 16. But yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye, obviously, on the boys. Is he going to grab his hat trick? No. But yeah, and our time in Luxembourg has been, generally speaking, fun. Pugnet, first goal of the season, 3-0. It's been a very comfortable win, as can be evidenced by the fact that I really haven't been paying a blind bit of notice to it, and I've been subjecting you to an awful lot of waffle, rather than anything to do with the match whatsoever. It's kind of been like having a catch-up with a football game going on in the background. I will pay a bit more attention to the derby, because, you know, we want to leave on a high, and it would be really good if we could, you know, beat our nearest rivals. Right, there we go. That was as easy as it should have been. And we will march on. I will see you for the derby. This is it then, my final game in Luxembourg. It's a derby match away to Differdange. Yes, we will move that back down because you changed it for the last game, didn't you? And yeah, we've got Texera and Ducci and Ocas in, and actually we've got a few players, Grillo and Sacras. It's not exactly a first choice lineup, but that's because my assistant quite brilliantly chose several of them in the cup game, and I didn't question his decision. There's a reason he's not coming back home with me. Right, come on, pump fists. These games matter, boys. Trust you lots to make the difference. Let's go. Okay, it's another one of those insanely wide pitches that Luxembourg seems so full of. Go on, Moreira. Whip it in, son, whip it in. They never whip it in, do they? Even when you've got them on like winger, they just don't seem to cross it. I don't know why. I see other people's players cross it. Mine never do. Odd. Anyway. Oh, nice touch from Prudhomme. Oh, he's through. Can he finish? He can't. Oh, that was a really good chance. I mean, a win here would be obviously very useful from several points of view. It would be one that the fans would absolutely love. It would help get progress right back into the fight for those top places, and against someone who's currently occupying one of those top places, because Differdon's just second at the moment. So a win here would be very, very good. But whether we've got enough talent out there to get the win, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, Teixeira actually has been playing generally pretty well since I've started using him. Oh. That's what happens when you just play about with it. Stop toying with your food and just devour them. Well, we are the better side. We've been the better side. Just haven't scored. I think I've heard this one before. Okay. Game seems to have died as an interesting contest. Here we go. A highlight. See? All you've got to do is just say something and the game will immediately do the opposite of what you've just said. Unless what you've said is something bad for your team, in which case it will probably just produce that. Right, you did this before and you gave up a chance. Stop messing about with it. There you go. Timo, in, goal. See? Do you see what happens when you pass it towards their end? I'm just saying, hello, Timo Ehring. What was that down by the corner flag? We'll hush it up, we'll say no more about it. All right, Timo? Okay, good man. Lovely finish. Straight from the kick-off. Let's not throw it away straight away. Frankie J, who has basically just secured the starting spot again. And De Vriend doesn't seem to have complained, so... I'm not entirely sure if there is anyone in this squad that I would be happy to try and take to Romania. I'm not entirely sure any of them will want to go. Yep, brilliant. We have thrown it away straight away. Good God, boys. Right, I'm going to demand more because that's just unacceptable to just switch off and not actually pay attention. Yeah, I mean the drop in well, actually, I say the drop in wages. They probably wouldn't be a drop in wages because our wage bill is so much bigger where we're going. I mean, we're spending, or they're already spending, I think, twice what we're spending here. Which gives you an indication of how much of a struggle Europe really should be for a Luxembourg side, because they're second division. They got relegated last season, but they're still second division in Romania. and they are doubling our wage spend. Timo, unlucky. And have plenty spare. So, I mean, I always look forward to starting with a new side because it's always fun trying to put your stamp onto that new team, and possibly even use a different tactic. We'll have a look and see what they've got. We'll see if we can come up with something new. Oh, wearing. And we are definitely the better side here, aren't we? I mean, look at it. It's so much better than them. And yet we couldn't keep the lead for more than 2 minutes. Genius. Well done, boys. Right, come on. Keep going. Dish out a bit of encouragement as well. I might cheer them up a bit more. But yeah, just sort of like looking back on our time in Luxembourg. I mean, obviously, I cannot be disappointed at all. I mean, we won a double last season, and we got to the group stage of European football. So there's not many sides from Luxembourg that manage that. So I think we can be very proud of what we've done here, and I think the squad we've left here is probably good enough to at least challenge for the title this season after I leave. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be able to do something. I'll go on, finish Prudhomme. Finished? No, you've taken it wide. Why? Just go at goal, you Burke. Teixeira! Michael Teixeira! His first goal for the club. Justifying his actual manager's faith in him and telling me to put him in the side. So... And, I mean, frankly, we've had a bit of a falling out with Landinho, who obviously was playing in that position. But it's fine because he can't run anymore, so I can probably out-sprint him. Alright. Why do they seem to be... Oh, come on, referee. Nobody even saw that. If you can tell me what actually happened there and why that's a penalty... Oh, for goodness sake. First we switch off and gift them an equaliser. Then the referee decides he's got money on it, so he needs to give them something. Yeah, we don't need to see him score a penalty. So, we kept it for 4 minutes this time. What we need to do now, boys, being as it seems to be doubling every time, is score with less than 8 minutes to go. Then you might hold on to it. And what you actually need to do is get your arse in gear and do something in this half. Because frankly, I'm on the verge of... Right, I am going to berate you because you have done nothing. Nothing this half. You have let them walk all over you this half, actually. That's what you have done. And it's not like any of you are playing particularly badly, is it? You're just not doing anything. Right, get on you because you're getting tired. And we'll put Gognier on for Prudhomme. He seems to be determined not to have a good game ever since he missed that really good chance. Go on, Duchy. No. Well, that's not good. Gognier. Moreira. Of course, the left side of our attack is a bit sort of weakened because obviously Sorrow is out injured. Rezapov had to play a couple of games in a row, so he's tired. So Ducci is basically it out there at the moment. Come on, Grillo. Yeah, we're not playing for the draw, Grillo. Get on with it. Don't play for the draw against your local rivals, do you? Pratt. Right, demand more. I mean, oh yes, we've out XGG. Yeah, well, we didn't get gifted a penalty for no reason, did we? Oh, you absolute... What a way to send me off. What a way to send me off. Just don't bother marking him at all. We don't need to see that again, do we? Right, let's go attacking. Let's berate them. And that's it. It's too late. Airing's just got himself a late booking, just to seal the deal, really. They haven't been the better side. I don't care what the XG says. They got gifted half of that. Right, I'm going to throw a water bottle. I can't accept that. Just for old time's sake, I'm going to throw the water bottle at you because I don't care what you think of me anymore. And I'm sorry, defence, but you should not be the ones who got upset that the water bottle got thrown because you were the ones who let 3 goals in. Right, we're back for the wrap-up. Right, here we are then. They have come back for the 3rd time, and this time we will be accepting it. What we will do before we accept it is switch the currency to Romanian leu. And it's nearly 100,000 leu per year. I mean, the figures are going to be quite high. Leu are about 5.5 to 6 for the pound. Starts negotiations. Is there any chance you can just bump it up? Oh, it's a 2-year deal. I like that. They've got the faith in me. Can you bump it up a little bit? Suggest terms. There we go. Right, we've got a little bit more out of them. Okay, there we are. Our time in Luxembourg is done. And just one last little thing I did just before I walked out the door. Bon Giovanni came to me complaining about his playing time again. So I promised him that he could have more playing time. In full knowledge that I wouldn't be here to keep that promise. So I didn't care. Anyway. With that said, that is the end of our time in Luxembourg. It's been generally fun. We've been successful. We, I think, are heading on an upward trajectory. And next time, Blaise Gloriei is going home. Thank you for joining me. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.